heaven, West Virginia.
Hey guys, this is Matt. Today, I'm going to be watching an interview from Joy Reid, and she's interviewing Senator Clyburn. And of course, they're going after their punching bag right now, and it is Joe Manchin, because he's not willing to vote against the filibuster to get rid of it. And they want to get rid of it so they can pass their agenda. H.R. 1 is one thing they want to get in there. It's the Voting Rights Act. Also, a Build Back Better bill. And they also want to pack the Supreme Court. So they need to get rid of that for that to happen. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to because of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Now, they believe Kyrsten Sinema will fold if Joe Manchin does. But right now, Joe Manchin's holding strong. He's not willing to. So they're comparing him to Strom Thurmond in this interview. I want you to check it out. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Peace.
And filibuster rules in the face of Republican obstruction. And joining me now is House Majority Whip, Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina. Happy New Year, Whip Clyburn. But let's talk about this. You wrote an op-ed, and it was talking about what you called the tyranny threatening America. And you write, 50 Republicans in the United States Senate, aided and abetted by 2 Democrats, are blocking votes on 2 critical voting rights bills. I'm not a fan of the filibuster, but if holding on to that tradition is important to most of the Senate, I maintain that exceptions on constitutional issues like voting should apply. We know that no less than Bill Clinton, Oprah Winfrey, and many other celebrities have tried to talk to Joe Manchin. He's been inundated with people coming to him. Tim Kaine likened the effort to his 27-hour drive to Washington earlier this week after the snowstorm. Slow progress toward a goal like my commute. Nothing is working. So what do we do if Manchin won't budge and if Sinema won't budge?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year to you as well, and thank you very much for having me. Well, I think that all of us are aware that the Senate is pretty high on tradition, and I have no problem with that. Joe Biden has been a large part of that for a long time. He and Joe Manchin are very good friends. I'm suspecting that they are in communication, at least I hope that they are. I do believe that Joe Manchin is very proud of his record in West Virginia and in the country. And I don't believe he would like to see that record sullied by going down in history as one who, out of tradition, set out to deny basic rights to American people. Now, we've had that to happen in the past. Strom Thurmond back in 1957 set the filibuster record against a civil rights bill, which was not even a bill. It was just a statement of policy. I don't think Joe Manchin would want to see that for himself. So I'm holding on to hope that these 2 men will get together, and in the final analysis, will find a way for us to go forward with this legislation. We know that exceptions have been made for the budget. We call it reconciliation. Reconciliation is a term more aptly applied to constitutional issues than the budget. So I think in the name of reconciliation, we're going to get to where we need to be.
Well, and hope is good, but hope and strategy are 2 different things. I mean, there are groups in Georgia, voting rights groups, who are saying to the president and vice president, don't come down here without a plan. You are good friends with the President of the United States. You know Senator Harris very well. Do you know of a plan that we aren't aware of that they have to actually make this happen? Because that's what the voting groups in Georgia are saying. Don't even come down here without an actual plan.
Well, the problem is, to who will you submit the plan? Yes, there are plans. I have talked with Joe Manchin, and I do know that we've talked about these issues. Now, I do believe that it is important to allow people room, space, as we like to call it, allow them to be able to deal with their own colleagues. The Senate, there's 100 people sitting there. And what we're trying to do is get to 50% plus 1. So let him have the space. I do believe there's a plan. In fact, I know of the plan, and hopefully he will accept it. He hasn't yet.
You say that you've spoken with Joe Manchin. What evidence has he provided you that he actually cares about voting rights more than he cares about the filibuster?
Well, the first evidence was the fact that he took the For the People Act, H.R. 1, he reworked it and came up with an approach that he thought would bring at least 10 Republicans to the table. That did not work. Now, it seems to me that he demonstrated good faith when he put forth that bill. And when they put it on the floor, 10 Republicans did not come along in order to bring it to a vote. So to me, that shows good faith. I think he will get to the point where he will see that they are, in fact, insulting him by saying they are for it. And when he laid it out there, they didn't vote for it. So I think that's what Schumer has in mind.
Last question to you. The King holiday is coming up. If, in fact, Joe Manchin does not budge and continues to stand by the filibuster and wrap his arms around that more than voting rights, is it not time for civil rights groups like the NAACP, for the groups that he's going to be looking to convene with on MLK Day, to do the annual thing that politicians like to do? Is it time for civil rights groups and organizations to condemn him as being akin to a modern-day Strom Thurmond?
Oh, absolutely. No question about that. Look, I have a long history here in South Carolina. I knew Strom Thurmond very well. His sister Gertrude and I used to have desks next to each other when we worked in state government together. And so that didn't stop me from saying to Strom Thurmond, I think you are off base and you need to reckon with the truth. I will say the same thing here. I will join with my colleagues in the NAACP and every other civil rights organization doing what is necessary to call these people out.
Congressman Jim Clyburn, thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate your time tonight. Have a wonderful evening. And still ahead,